Okay, Chapter 2, Lesson 1 and 2. This is the Lesson 2 part of this. Unit rates, complex numbers. So if you did this on the same page, because you write small, you're just going to add this red part to the title. If you're doing this on a new page, you would only write the part that's in red, plus Chapter 2, I guess. The essential question is the same. So if you still have the essential question, don't feel like you have to write it again. So our next part. Lesson 2 is all about complex numbers, and complex numbers are just fractions where the numerator or denominator is also a fraction. So it's just fractions within fractions, which is not as bad as you can imagine it in your mind. My example here. Oh. And then it says such as 1/2 divided by 2 or 4 over 3/4. It's a bad job I'm doing today. 3/4. So again, this looks terrible, but it's not that bad. Okay. So example 3. So we're continuing the examples from unit rates. We want to simplify 1/4 over 2. Okay, and all we're going to do, the real math here that's new, is we're going to rewrite this as a division problem. So we think of it as 1/4 divided by 2. And then instead of writing it as a fraction, we're going to rewrite it like we would write a division problem. So we're going to put 1/4, put it over here, divided by 2. Okay? And then we can do it like we did at the end of the first chapter. We can make this a whole number. So 1/4 divided by 2 over 1. Anytime you have a whole number, you can write it over 1. And then if we want to make it, because we never actually want to divide fractions, so we change it to a multiplication problem. So we keep the first number the way it is, and we're going to flip division to multiplication. And then we're going to take the reciprocal of our second number. So 2 over 1 becomes 1 over 2. And then we're just multiplying fractions, which is just a matter of going straight across. So 1 times 1 is 1. 4 times 2 is 8. So after all that, we get 1/4 divided by 2 equals 1/8. And that's our final answer. So as bad as this looks, it's not so bad, right? It's just a matter of rewriting and then doing stuff we already know how to do. Okay? Okay, so what's my next example? So, whoa. Okay, so example 4. Let's do one more of those. 16 divided by 4 over 9. Okay, so we rewrite it as a division problem. So we're going to say this 16 comes first, divided by 4/9. And then we go through the same steps. We make this into a fraction. So we're going to end up with 16 over 1 divided by 4/9. And then we're going to take our fraction, flip it over. So first number stays the same. Division becomes multiplication. And then 4/9 becomes 9/4. Wait, hold on. Oh, okay. I'm just looking at it wrong. Okay. So then 2 ways we could do this. We could just multiply our numbers straight across. So 16 times 9 is 144. 4 times 1 is 4. And then we can simplify that to 36. Or since I don't really like dealing with big numbers so much, I'm going to try this again. So I'm going to go back to this step. Okay. Alternate path through history. And I'm going to say 16 and 4, I know I can simplify. Because I simplified it by 4 up here, so I know I can simplify by 4 earlier as well. So 4 divided by 4 is 1. 16 divided by 4 is 4. And then I can multiply these numbers. So 4 times 9 is 36. 1 times 1 is 1. Let's put it there. And we end up with the same answer. So you can simplify at the end, you can simplify at the beginning. You just have to simplify somewhere. Okay? So let's do some word problems. We're almost done. Promise. So example 5. Mark can jog 1 1/3 mile in 1/4 hours. Calculate his speed in miles per hour, which is a unit rate. Okay. So if we write our fraction out, so we have 1 1/3 over, what was it, 1/4. Alright. So this is as bad as it's going to get, because we got a mixed number, and we also have two fractions. So we're still going to rewrite it. So rewrite seems a lot thinner than it was a second ago. Oh, there it is. Division problem. So we have 1 1/3 up top. 1 1/3 divided by 1/4. Okay. So first things first, we can't multiply or divide mixed numbers, so we have to make it an improper fraction. Okay. So we can say, let's just use arrows more. Save space. So 1 1/3, if you remember, where can I do this? I'm going to put it over on the side here. Sorry, Miss Beverage. It's going to be 1 times 3, right? The whole number times the bottom plus whatever's on top. And that gives us 4/3 divided by still 1/4. Okay. And then we just change it to multiplication. So our first number stays the same. 4/3. And then division becomes times. And then 1/4, we flip that over to get 4/1. So then we just multiply. Nothing really to simplify here. So this becomes 16 up top. 4 times 4. 3 on the bottom. So 16/3, we can rewrite that. We can make that, oops, and this shouldn't be an arrow. That's my bad. Because we're just doing math here, so that's equals. So 16 divided by 3, if we divide that out, to go back to a mixed number, would give us 5 1/3. And then since this is a word problem, there's some units there, so we can say mark. Oops, I was supposed to spell mark with a C, but I think that's incorrect. I spell it with a K. If you want to put a C, because you have Miss Geyer, you got to follow her rules, you can put a C if you want. So we can say Mark jogs 5 1/3. So what's our units? It's miles per hour. And if you're still confused by that, per just means in 1 So he jogs 5 1/3 miles in 1 hour. It means the same thing. Okay? Per. Not like a cat. Alright, one more. I promise. Example 6. This is expressed as a fraction. Form singular. Alright, so our number is 33 1/3%, which hopefully some of you know by now. If not, that's okay. So this comes with some notes. It says all percents, oops, that S is implied, I guess, are over 100. And then we want to rewrite, because percent means per 100, cent meaning 100. It's like a fun fact for you. So 33 1/3%, we're going to rewrite that as 33 1/3 over 100. Okay, and then we go through the same process that we've been doing. So take our first number and put it first, divided by 100. So then we rewrite our fractions. So 33 times 3 is 99, plus 1 is 100 over 3, divided by 100. That's a whole number, so we just put that over 1. And then we just have to remember not to multiply 100 times 100. We've got to flip our fraction first. So this will become 100 over 3 times 1 over 100. Okay? And now, hopefully, instead of doing 100 times 1, which is 100, and 3 times 100, which is 300, you would know that these hundreds would cancel each other out, and all we're left with is 1 over 3. And we're left with what should be a common fact for us math folks, that 33 1/3% is 1/3. Okay, that's it. That's complex numbers. So stop arguing about turtles, finish your notes, eat some more ice cream, and then you can watch some football. Okay, night or afternoon, whatever time it happens.